Hi, everybody, and welcome to Seeking the Sacred Earth. It's Totem Weekly. We pulled Bat and Whale. Powerful totems this week. So if you remember what we had, right, over the weekend, we had a full moon lunar eclipse and then a very powerful conjunction of Saturn and Pluto on Sunday. All of that cosmic weather was about rebirth and the shedding of skin. Well, look what we have. Bat is the totem of rebirth. It speaks of the death of the old self. And right, bats hang backwards, which is also how, unless your child is going to be born breech, we are positioned with our head down at the base of our mother's pelvis when we are in utero, literally hanging like a bat before we enter the physical world. When we get the card of Bat, it's saying, fearlessly let your old identity die. And if you need to have a ritual to do so, then do it. It's saying, let the bad habits die. Literally embracing the cycle of birth, life, death, and rebirth in all elements of our world. If you look at the moon, she is a perfect example of how this happens. We have the full moon, right? It wanes until it's dark, that new moon, and then it starts growing again, only to go back to that darkness. Everything dies. And as human beings, we have these mini cycles in our lives where it is a necessity that we shed so that we can become bigger, more expansive, more understanding. Which leads me to also when Bat shows up, it's about, rather than explaining ourselves, how can we understand? It's about letting go of being right, letting go of identity and belief systems that say, I have to be this, I have to be that. Perhaps you're quite opposite of what you've led yourself to believe up until now. And this cosmic weather, this energy we're all in, is really giving us an invitation. What do you want to let go of? What belief systems just don't serve your ability to have compassion for yourself and other people? What belief systems are not serving your ability to find forgiveness for yourself and for other people? What habits, relationships are getting in the way of you really being your best self? Or what patterns in your relationships are inhibiting you from being your most compassionate, loving, kind, understanding self? What's getting in the way of you being a good listener? Oftentimes, it's holding on to some identity or belief system that ultimately, when we let it go, we actually have more peace because we're ultimately connecting more intimately with those in our life. Then we got Whale. Whale is the record keeper. Right? At one point, they were on land. They walked on land. I mean, I have so many theories about whales and what they're doing here. I mean, I go way out there, of course. Whale speaks of sound medicine, whereas dolphin is much about, breath medicine, the breath. Whale takes it to the next level, and it's about sound. So this week, find a place where you can hang backwards, literally, whether that's off your sofa or your bed, or you can get to a yoga studio or a gym where you can get on a bar and hang backwards. Change the perspective, right? Sometimes it's just physically doing that opens us up. I know there's a place in my yoga studio where I can do that, and I'm telling you, when I get stuck, I do it, and the perspective shift, the physical perspective shift, initiates a mental, emotional, and psychic perspective shift. But then Whale says, use sound medicine this week. You're dying on some level, right? You're letting go, you're shedding, you're releasing on such a profound level. Whether you want to or not, it's going to happen. You can go with it or it can be forced upon you. Whale says use sound to help, whether that's binaural beats, isochronic tones, specific music. Your own voice, though, will be the most powerful medicine here. So what do I mean by that? Well, on a very practical, mundane level, which we're all comfortable with, singing with music that you're playing in your car or in your home, in the shower. But here's another layer to this. And this is where you really have to shed some preconceived notions, some old things that may inhibit you from being free with your voice. Can you find private, quiet time? Get in a meditative space and then just listen to your body and soul and start making vocalizations. What comes up, right? I dare you. I dare you to do this exercise. You know, as an actor in drama school, we did a lot of this kind of stuff. But for people who don't have that kind of training, that kind of experience, it can be terrifying. And you got to let that fear die. Let it die. Because this week we have an opportunity. Our voice can be a conduit for infinite spirit to heal our physical, emotional, and energetic bodies. We are our greatest healers. You have the ability to heal yourself. Often this begins with sound. Now you guys can research light language, speaking in tongues. This is a part of that. But also, just letting it go, seeing what sounds you can make. So often we are not intimate with our own voice. We don't know what our own voice sounds like. Get to know it this week. Make sounds. Surprise yourself. Do it in the car. You need to scream. You need to yell because there's a part of you dying or a relationship dying or something you have to release that you're clutching onto with your bat feet. Let it out with sound and see how that helps you shift. See how it helps you shed, let go, and release. But I'm also getting this image of the lullaby. And we sing lullabies to our children. We soothe our children with our voice. But are we soothing ourselves? This just opens up so many doors, you guys. So I would encourage you, be your own healer this week. As you shed, release, let go, and let die, you have this soothing balm that's free. And it's you. So access it. Chants, mantras, speaking your affirmations out loud. Remember, when you do affirmations, use your tapping technique. And if you don't know the full technique, there's a video. I'll put the link below. But also there's a shortcut. When you're calling in, you tap around the right ear. When you're letting go, bat, you tap around the left ear. I let go of the fear. I let the fear die. I kill the fear. Whatever it is that you're going to be letting go. When we can let the death process happen to whatever it is that must be released now, and you'll all already know what that is in your life, and we take the time to allow our mind, body, spirit to heal what was shed, to fill the space that we've let empty with sound, with the fullness. Sound is light. It is what makes us all up. We are sound and light slowed way down. Let's use it to heal us. It totally can shift every cell in your being. It can shift your very DNA. So, get on the internet and look into binaural beats, isochronic tones. There are so many cool videos on YouTube with sound healers doing magical work, the Tibetan bells, the Tibetan bowls. It's all around us, and it's there for us to use. But remember, the most powerful tool is going to be your own voice. Now, this can be making animal sounds yourself. What's interesting about this, when you start doing things like that in your meditative space, the animal world will listen. So also watch for the sounds in nature that could have messages for you this week as you shed and let go. They'll fill you up. That's the cycle, right? The death and then the rebirth, and then we start growing and expanding and expanding. And that's the cycle we're moving into now. So thank you all for viewing. Of course, if you're interested in private sessions, head to SeekingTheSacredEarth.com. Please like, subscribe to this channel. And of course, the most important thing to me is that you share this with people in your life who you think have ears to hear, minds to know, and hearts that are open for this kind of message. Thank you so much for viewing, and have an awesome week.